when you mention AI. And you know that I'm super keen of technologies, innovation, AI, of course. But in all this wave of everybody just talking about, yeah, AI is coming, is going to take all the jobs and everything. We're not there in this singularity yet. To me, actually, the human part, it's the most important. We have actually an Ideafoster, a bold impact, to create a bold impact in what we're doing because it's something important. But we are also discussing about having this human part, always human. Because even if we have AI, we still need to be there. Because AI, aside from the hallucinations and everything that sometimes is happening, we are the ones who are driving and we are the ones on the steering wheel, let's
Totally.
say, right? Whenever we see, the bus or the car and we see no one there, and I'm not talking about Tesla driving by itself, and when we see no one driving the bus, that is when we need to, okay, Terminator, okay, we are here, this is happening. But I think we are still far away from being pulled aside and leaving the human part aside.
Yeah, I think one thing that we see a lot, right, in our business is that AI has allowed everybody to create more, which I think is a net good thing. But one thing we're seeing a lot of, right, is what we call AI slop, which is things just created because somebody had an idea and they push it out. What we're not seeing is, or when we see a lot of the slop, what we see is, okay, someone realized that AI could now do this, right? So they create something and they push it out. But if it's not solving a human problem, then it's not going to be contributing to the forward momentum of society. There are so many things you can do. That does not mean you should do so many things, right? There's a big difference between solving a problem and using the right technology. At Fullsend, everyone's always asking us, like, how much AI are we using? And we're like, that's not the right question to be asking. The right question is, are we using the right technologies to solve the problem that you have in the most effective way possible? More and more, I would say there's an AI solution or AI component of that problem solving, but saying that, oh, I can now do this with AI, I should just create it, it's just adding to this, again, this kind of slop that we're seeing in the marketplace.
No, responsibility, right? Using AI in a responsible way. That's, I think that's crucial as well. And another important part, paraphrasing what you were saying, is like doing the right things, but at the same time doing it right.
Yes.
So I think it's not just a moral thing that goes over and over in media about we're just entering AI, but it could be any technology, right? That we are always discussing about, hey, this is happening. This new technology came here, or you can do this with AI, and we are losing people working here. Probably we need to adapt, like you said, and we need to evolve. If you go back 50 years back, maybe there were people, exchanging cables just to connect one person to another on the phone. At some point, internet came, and this was like, oh, what is happening here? We're going to lose, the letters and the postals, the postcards. We're not sending anymore. It's true that we send less postcards than before. Now we send selfies, right? Straight away from the place. But we adapted. The human, resilient as it is, always try to adapt and to make the best out of it. And we as a company, or as a hive, of companies, we really try and we push to understand exactly what are those needs, why they're doing what they're doing. And then we can really try to help them to solve the problem or to go beyond whatever they're expecting to do. It could be a website, could be launching a new product, could be having a new idea, could be innovate within different departments, an event. It doesn't matter. The first question that I'm usually having is this, like, okay, Alex, yeah, why do you want to do this?
Right. And there's usually two answers, right? It's fear of missing out, which is a motivator for a lot of people to adopt new technologies, or FOMO, right?
Yes.
Or to try something new because they don't want to miss a new trend or a new wave. And even if you look at the biggest companies, like take Meta, for example, right? They invested so much into VR because they didn't want to miss out, but like they still had bets on AI, even if it wasn't their focus, right? So they are a good example of a company, doesn't want to miss out on any trend because they don't want to be disrupted. So you have fear of missing out. It's a big reason for or motivation for innovation. And then you have fear, uncertainty, doubt, FUD, as it's sometimes called, right? Which is another huge motivator.
Of course. Well, when something happens, like for example, you're in a company and you have this fear of having an attack or like cyber attack or something like that, you're always trying to say, hey, am I protected, or I'm doing things right, or this is correct or not? This is why also we have in Hive a collaborator as well and luck management that actually help us with the cybersecurity part, where they can really perform I would say ethical hacking, to the company to really understand where are the holes, where are the bad things that potentially could happen in order to prevent them. So this is something important that we understand that, like you said, the why there is like, okay, I'm having this fear of this unknown or what potentially could happen. But many times they start or they contact us because of this FUD, because of this fear. And then when this is covered, and it's many times, actually 96% of the companies that work with us, we rework again any other topics. Maybe they come for bread and we have milk as well, or they need something else. And as you said, potentially we can help them almost with anything. We are kind of like the Amazon of innovation, for A to Z. But it is true that this is very important. The fact that potentially they can be with this fear and they can do it, or they have the fear of missing out something.